Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're going to enjoy this video and want more content like it, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get right into it. This woman probably never came back to the show after this.
But this is based on an assumption that there ought to be some kind of gender parity. My suggestion is that there isn't. We don't complain when women dominate subjects like nursing. We shouldn't complain when men dominate subjects like physics.
We're going to have to leave it there. We could chat for another hour on this.
So guys, the AC in your workplace is sexist.
You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame all on the AC. And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, do feel the cold more than men, and that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than...
Let's hear this show's presenter completely contradict himself.
Obviously, if you have half of a city, essentially, that are people who are first-generation immigrants, that is going to make it less of the local culture. It's just a fact of life, isn't it?
No, the fact of that is, and you're absolutely right, but the fact of that is...
It's just a fact of life, isn't it?
No, the fact of that is, and you're absolutely right, but you're absolutely right, but you're absolutely right.
Here's an example of an SJW getting offended by anything.
I just think that modern-day feminism, a lot of it is spoiling for an argument. I mean, the ludicrous campaign about putting women's faces on banknotes when there are legitimate discussions... Well, excuse me. Me! He's a... Legitimate... See, this is another problem about feminism. Women are made to feel stupid because they dare to contradict some of the received wisdom about feminism. That's it. Well, you don't need to do the Oscar-winning science.
Look at this SJW run away as soon as she knew that she lost an argument.
From the document, unless they're lying, and that's what we got to... Oh, you mean the juror? Yeah, Richard Mahler. I'm exhausted too, Nancy. You just keep going. We'll all be out of here.
You know what? It's time for me to start my show taping. I'm 5 minutes late.
No, come on. Keep going, Nancy. You're doing great.
If you thought my dear was a sincere phrase, then apparently you're wrong.
But nothing, not even sir, gets under my skin quite like my dear. Deliberate misgendering can be frustrating, but it's rarely from malice, at least not from people who matter. It's usually just a misunderstanding or some confusion. My dear, however, well, that's condescending and demeaning. It's dripping with...
The presenter was contradicting himself again.
Well, no, but answer the question. Would it be okay or not?
Would it be okay? I'm trying to get my head around that.
If 50% of the people who lived in London were Scottish,
yes,
would it be okay to say that London has become less English?
Well, if they were Scottish, yeah.
Right, so what's the difference?
Imagine getting owned on your own show.
Start up with that. I'm talking about recreational marijuana.
Because, Nancy, I'm not going to let the isolated stories you drag off the internet impact and affect the millions of Americans who use marijuana responsibly and do not impair or impact society.
This SJW got pretty angry as soon as he heard something he didn't agree with.
Yeah, 40% are male, 60% are female, a massive advance for women in this country. And when you look at the bottom of society, when you get away from Van's debate about women like her, because left feminism is essentially selfish. Can I speak, Andrew, without you being a participant? Are you a participant in this show or a host? Are you a professional host or a participant?
I'm trying to get to the bottom of the issue, but you try to insult the other guest.
Are you the host of this program, professional and cool? Are you the host of this? You should declare what you're doing at the beginning of the segment. You should declare your interest at the beginning of the segment. Because I can tell you the viewers had a gutful of you having a bet each way. Pretending you're a host, but really being a left-wing participant in the debate.
I am trying to get to the bottom of the issue. I have no doubt that there are some...
defending Van because I made a valid point.
Storm, please. I have no doubt that there are some legitimate concerns that men have about certain issues. Now, you talk about, there being more graduates than women than men. Great, okay, legitimate concern. Okay, we talk about the family law system, apparently these days, being skewed away from men in favour of women. Please. To create inequitable results. These are worth exploring. But do you need to run down feminism in order to explore those issues?
SJWs are even a menace in colleges.
Did she say what specifically she was so offended by?
She didn't like the fact that I disagreed with the subject being pushed in class being more than one gender, male privilege, systemic sexism.
Seriously, it must be pretty embarrassing to get owned on your own show.
Have you no conscience? When will this stop? When will you own up to the fact that millions and millions of Americans can light up a joint and have been since the age of Woodstock without impairing families, driving recklessly, or endangering people.
I find it pretty funny when people contradict themselves.
We threw our support behind them. But what they're saying is also kind of right. Why don't we take a shift and look at other communist nations that haven't done so well in the USSR?
Cuba has done great.
What?
They've been doing great for their people. They have like 99% literacy. They have fucking their own health brigades that come out and help Latin America. Who was there in Puerto Rico? Who was there and not the U.S.?
This guy's just saying it how it is.
A few items here where you've tried to say, oh, well, maybe that's not the case. I've got references, I've got reports, I've got official surveys that back up the facts and figures that I'm putting out there. Now, it mightn't be the information that people want to hear, but I'd rather have a debate where you can deal in reality rather than left-wing feminist fantasy.
All right, Mark Latham, thank you for your...
This is probably one of the biggest violations ever on television.
Children, and she'd take the kids any day, whereas I would question a lot of men out there, quite frankly.
Tracy, I can't believe what I just heard you say.
There's a reason that women live longer, Mark. Let me tell you. It is because we are stronger and we are happier at the end of the day than most men. And that is factual, and you know it.
When men are married to women who scream like you, they just want to die.
Here's an SJW getting schooled on health.
Say you were a smoker. Let's say you're a smoker and have black lungs, and you try to say that's healthy because you don't have cancer yet. We know that it is actually factual that obesity is dangerous, and it's connected to cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's.
I think at this moment, the journalist was just done with those types of questions.
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dina and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
This guy said nothing wrong, and yet the SJW is triggered by what he says.
Answering your questions on this.
Well, it was just we had that one you were Shadow Defence Secretary on DEFCON.
Do you know what really upsets me about your attitude to me is that you do this with me. I don't remember you doing it with anybody else. You know, have you done it to David Davis? Have you asked these questions? Do Sky journalists have a go at Boris Johnson on this basis? How about Liam Fox?
Thanks for watching this video, everyone. If you enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and much more. Goodbye for now, everyone, and we'll see you next time.